Welcome back, guys, to the Sandy Park podcast.
Welcome.
You know, got my co-host here, Bryan, also known as Tinger Golf Man, and myself, Eloy here. We're just gonna talk about the tour stop that just happened this past weekend. A lot of some notable holes there by some pretty big names,
right?
Or used to be big names that are still there,
right?
All right. Start off with the course info. The tournament was from October 14th through October 17th. It was the CJ Cup at the Summit Club at Shadow Creek Golf Course in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Super exclusive.
We were talking about a super exclusive course, right? It is a par 72, 6,777 yards. Not a very big course.
No.
An average golfer is like you and I.
Yes, we can live on 6,700.
We can live on that. We can do decent. I'm not gonna.
Right.
Well, I don't think we're gonna shoot like these pros.
No, not at all.
We would do okay.
Right.
We would do okay on this course. It looked pretty nice though.
It looked beautiful.
It looked real nice. Being in the desert, just seeing all the greenery, the trees.
Right.
It looked really nice out there.
And then, Elo, you had mentioned that you said Mark Davis, Raiders
owner Mark Davis
lives on property.
Yes,
out
his big old mansion house that he built is actually on the property of the Summit Club.
Oh my God!
It's there. It's the exclusive course. He can play there if he wanted to. Is he gonna play there? I'm not sure if he's a golfer. Mark Davis, let us know if you're a golfer, man. Because if you are, I mean, we're LA Ram fans over here, but
we'll come support you.
We'll come support you.
Yeah.
You got a nice stadium.
Right.
Let us see the nice course in your backyard.
Right, exactly.
I'm trying to play there.
Right. But yes, CJ Cup is owned, or the title sponsor is CJ Group. CJ Group is a Korean company that owns various brands that's aimed to spread the Korean culture to the world. They're aimed at expanding and diversifying the Korean culture to the golf world as well. This video is nowhere near sponsored by CJ Group.
Not sponsored at all.
But shout out to one of the guys, Roger Steele, who I just recently seen post about the CJ Group's, one of their brands that they own, which is BBGO food company, who also, believe it or not, they just recently are now the title sponsor for the Los Angeles Lakers.
I've seen that.
Yeah, so
they are the sponsors there on the
on the jerseys for the LA Lakers. So shout out to BBGO, and if you guys aren't familiar,
out to you guys.
Yeah,
to get that big contract with the Lakers,
right?
Man.
Yeah, but if you guys don't know, CJ Group owns the brand BBGO, and they used to have brick and mortar locations. They opened up just before the pandemic, and I had the great opportunity to try some of their food out at the Genesis Invitational a couple years back. But they closed all their stores because of COVID. Unfortunately, they did close all of their brick and mortar locations. But now they're focusing more of their efforts on products, actual food products, and
like in the store, off the shelf type of food.
Correct. So
you can a Korean store and.
Not even just a Korean store. You can find their products at Target, Albertsons. Nice. Yeah, so I had the great opportunity to try their the Korean fried chicken.
Okay.
And fire. That's all I can say.
Was it fire, really?
Yes, it's really good.
Korean chicken out.
But CJ Group or BBGO, if you guys want to sponsor our videos in the future, please check us out. Because shout out to Roger Steele. I saw the video that he did at your guys' event. And, if you guys haven't seen it, it's the logo that has it's like a 3-stone colored logo, blue, red, and orange. And they have some couple PGA Tour guys currently sponsored by them. The winner from last week's tournament, Sung Jae Im, is sponsored by BBGO. Siwoo Kim is also another one that you guys have probably heard the name on the tour, and a couple of various other Korean golfers. But regardless, you guys had a great event this past week for the CJ Cup at Summit. And, it was a great showcase. And, try out BBGO, Korean food that you can get at Target, Albertsons, Vons are some of the key locations that they sell their product. But then, of course, I'm fairly confident that the Asian markets have them as well, too. So if you guys are familiar, BBGO, Korean food, check them out.
So they do more than just like Korean barbecue, because that's what the rave is right now, is Korean barbecue.
Right.
So they do like the whole dish,
like a gamut of different Korean food.
Oh, nice.
So I've seen like Korean pot stickers. They have different sauces. Gochujang, if you guys are not familiar, is like a spicy sauce that the Korean community loves to make. But yes, BBGO makes a lot of that stuff that you can buy in various markets across the nation.
Well, go ahead and you heard it here. Go ahead and try it out.
Try it out.
So getting back to the Summit Club, the CJ Cup at the Summit Club. The event being a no-cut event, meaning all 78 players will be playing all weekend long.
Wow. That's good to see, because that way you're going to see the same, people.
Same people.
They didn't make, as other tournaments they miss a cut.
They miss a cut, right. So here, cool. Everybody, you start on Thursday, you're playing all the way until Sunday, regardless of what you shot.
Sure.
A lot of recognizable names are out on the field this weekend. A lot of big names such as Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, Sam Burns, who was the winner of the Sanderson Farms Open.
Couple weeks back.
Dustin Johnson, Jordan Spieth, Jason Day, and Sung J M, who was actually the winner
of last week at Shriners.
At Shriners, yeah. And then, Kevin Na.
Who's a local out there.
Who is a local out to Vegas.
Yeah. So, great names to see.
Great names. So, a lot of pretty big names in the golf world.
Right.
So, getting into it, a day one recap. So, the leader after day one was Robert Streb at -11, with Keith Mitchell right on his ass.
Yeah.
At -10.
Right.
Mm-hmm, he was 10 under. Notable from day one, Jordan Spieth finished tied for 7th, -6. But on hole 11, it was a 251 par 3.
Right.
He missed the green to the right. Actually hit it towards a small group of people that were there.
Ooh.
Didn't hit anybody, thank God. He didn't hit anybody. So he had to shoot over a bunker and found the hole for a birdie.
Right. And I saw that shot.
You saw that shot, right?
That was a beautiful shot.
So if you're watching the video version, we'll throw up a little clip of this shot. But great shot for Jordan Spieth.
Holds out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did. He holed out for a birdie there.
Right.
So that was day one.
Right, yes. So, again, great play from Jordan Spieth. Some other notable names. We had, obviously, Sung J M in the field, shot 68. Defending Masters champion Hideki Matsuyama, day one, shot 66. Rory still played well day one, shot a 68 with a triple on the card.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he still played well to be under par. Sergio Garcia eagled 18th. 18th was the easiest hole that day at the golf course.
A lot of people were saying that. A lot of people were saying that 18th was the easiest hole.
Right. If I'm not mistaken, 18th over there is a par 5, and I could be mistaken, but regardless, people were saying the 18th was the easiest hole on the golf course that day.
Hey, shoot. I want to get out there and try it out.
I know.
Let me be the judge of that.
Right. Let us be the judge.
Get us out there, guys.
Yes.
Get us out there.
Members of Summit Club, please. One day.
One day, right. Vegas isn't too far from here. Drive or fly out there, play some golf.
Right.
Day 2.
Yeah.
The leader after day 2 was Keith Mitchell at -18.
Wonderful.
The day 1 leader, Streb, dropped to tied for 8th at -11. So he fizzled out and kind of...
Keith Mitchell's still holding up.
Yeah, he's holding up, right.
Right.
A notable shot on day 2, Joaquin Niemann.
Right.
Niemann? Yeah. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, man. But on the first hole, he shot his tee, went way right. By that, he ended up having to take an unplayable lie penalty. Right?
Yes.
So he was taking his third shot. He was playing his third shot from another fairway.
Right.
He ended up holding out.
Right, for birdie. Right, because he made that shot.
Yeah. I don't quite remember how far he was, but it was a blind shot.
Right.
He had tall grass in front of him.
And it's a par 5.
It was a par 5.
Yeah, so 200-something plus yards.
Mm-hmm. And he ended up holding out. I believe Jason Day was in his group, and Jason Day, he was shocked. He was like, what just happened? They didn't even know that he had to take a unplayable. He was just like, I had to take a drop.
Right.
And I hit it, and that was my third shot.
Right.
Everybody in his group was just shocked. He was shocked himself.
Sure.
He was just like lost for words. He's like, I can't believe I did that.
Right.
I'd be the same way too.
Exactly. I mean, just to have that shot. I mean,
all right.
Just to even be able. I mean, par 5, you're going into an unplayable lie, and you take the drop and you hole out. I mean, what is the odds of that? Just to have that feeling, or even have the game to even shoot a shot that far
and
hole out. I mean, obviously the hole out was an extra thing. I don't think he probably thought that he was going to make that shot.
Right. He was just hoping to get somewhere near the green.
Right.
Found the hole.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's why they're pros.
Exactly. That's why we're out here talking about you instead of working on our own games.
Right. Exactly.
Some other notable players we had, day 2, we had DJ make an incredible shot on the third hole, 283 yards away. Almost holed out, but just hits the pin and stopped maybe an inch from the hole. Ended up shooting 66. Famous Mexican golfer Abraham Answer, second shot on the 14th hole, par 5, 250 yards away, holes out for an albatross, or also known as a double eagle.
Oh, wow.
Still up for debate if it's an albatross or a double eagle. I don't know what they really call him, but he shot a 2 on a par 5.
They're calling it both.
Right.
People were saying double eagle, people were saying albatross.
Right.
Tell us. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Leave a comment if you make a 2 on a par 5. Is that called a double eagle or is it called an albatross? Yeah, it's still up for debate. I don't know.
Right.
I'm just gonna say you hit a magnificent shot. And shout out to Keith Mitchell for holding down the second day leader again on day 2.
So day 3 recap. New leader. Again, the leader now is Ricky Fowler.
Yeah, name we haven't heard in a couple of tournaments.
As you were saying earlier, he almost lost his card.
Yeah, almost lost his card, but I think regardless of that, I think obviously Ricky just had his kid, so congrats, he has a lot of things. Yeah, congrats Ricky for getting one, getting one of those under the book.
Right. So again, Ricky Fowler, the leader after day 3 at -21. Rory McIlroy in second at -19.
This is day 3. Jesus Christ.
Right, this is day 3. -19 after 3 days.
Right.
That's, man. I can't even do that.
Right. I mean, again, we're alluding to the fact that the course is 6,700 yards roughly that they're playing from. So, I mean, these guys eat this yardage up all day.
All day. They're hitting drivers down there, making it on the green every time.
Right.
If it's, reasonable for them.
Right.
So again, now Fowler was in the position he hasn't been in 32 months, right? So he hasn't led a single event in 32 months.
Wow.
So this is something.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Right.
But he still had a lot of work ahead of him with McIlroy only two shots behind him.
Right.
There were 9 players that were all within 5 shots from the lead. So at this point, it was anybody's round.
Yeah.
It could be anybody.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah. Some other notable players, again, Keith Mitchell had a hole out on number 2. Rory went out on 30 on the front 9. So really good front 9 by Rory on day 3. Shoot 60 or -16, finish 62 with an eagle on the card. And again, just going back to Ricky, just because we haven't heard his name in a long time, playing well on day 3, moves to 21 under. And only made, just a key stat here, only made 1 top 10 last year. So he's working to get his card back. And I think, just hearing Ricky's name, at the top of the leaderboard is kind of the story of day 3.
Of course. Seeing Ricky and Rory, 1 and 2.
Right.
This brings me back all the way to, the late 2000s, early teens of 2000s, of just hearing them every single event.
Week. Yeah,
every week it was just always them. I'm like, Jesus, those. I've always been a Fowler fan, just because he Team Cobra.
Yeah, Team Cobra.
Me playing Cobra clubs.
Right.
I wanted to be Ricky Fowler.
Right.
I wanted to wear the loud orange shirt, orange hat, orange shoes, orange belt, everything. Right. I just wanted to be loud, just like Ricky Fowler. He was somebody I looked up to. In the absence of Tiger
at that time,
right. So, to me personally, it felt great to see and hear Ricky's name leading after day 3. So I was rooting for him to,
make a good run.
At the end. But I knew it was going to be hard with McIlroy, right? Just 2 shots behind.
Right.
So, day 4. We have our winner, and our winner ended up being Rory McIlroy with the final score of -25.
Jesus.
So he ended up overcoming Ricky Fowler. He ended up overcoming anybody else that was coming up behind him.
Right.
Colin Morikawa finished second with -24. Keith Mitchell and Ricky Fowler ended up tying for third with -22.
Yeah, still respectable scores there.
And then going back to the winner of McIlroy, man, this kid, or this guy, not a kid anymore. We're all the same age here. Being only the age of 32, he joined an elite group of individuals such as Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and Phil Mickelson, to name a few, that have won 20 tour events that are non-majors before the age of 33.
Right.
So at 32, he has already 20 tour event wins.
Right.
I mean, that's a stat in its own.
Right, 100%.
He was, I believe it was in his post-round interview, somebody brought that up.
Oh, really?
So he wasn't...
He wasn't
thinking about that.
Correct, right.
Until somebody in the media brought it up saying, this is your 20th win. And he was like, oh, really? Wow. Then they started bringing up all
when
these
you
names.
win enough times like that, I guess it doesn't matter.
Right. To him, it was just like, it's just another event. But for 20, man. So this this win marks 20 wins in his PGA career with 4 major wins. So he has 4 majors already. To compare him to Mickelson at the age of 32, Mickelson had 21 tour wins, but 0 majors.
0 majors, yeah.
He had 0 majors, but he had 21 tour wins.
Right.
Okay, now Jason Day, Brooks Koepka are the same age, or roughly a year older, a year younger than McIlroy.
Sure.
They have a combined win of 20 PGA Tour wins and 5 majors.
But that's a combined.
That's combined between Day
between the two players versus just looking at Rory's numbers.
Right. So the one thing they have in common between all these players, they're all former number 1 players.
Right.
So I mean, they're number 1 players for a reason.
Right. Small number of golfers, you could say that.
Right. Very small numbers can say they've won 20.
Right.
Before the age of 33.
Right. Yeah, some interesting stats there to look at. Again, congratulations to Rory. Just a couple of key stats for day 4. Rory shot 29 on his front on day 4. So that's going out smoking fire final day. Shoot 29 again. We had Colin Morikawa, who was also shot 29 on the front, but was trying to make that charge to catch up to Rory. But like you said, Eloy finished tied for second at 24 under. Respectable score for Colin Morikawa. Who's playing really well this year. You'll notice in our upcoming interview with our good friend Bryan Urip, who alludes to Colin Morikawa as one of the golfers he looks up to.
He looks up to him, yes.
A name we don't typically hear too much, Taylor Gooch, holds out for Eagle. That's pretty loud. So again, we have Taylor Gooch is a name that we don't typically hear a lot, but he holds out for Eagle on 18. And again, Rory had a 3-shot lead at one point, and again, Morikawa was trying to make that run back behind him, but Rory takes it all at the end. So congratulations to Rory
McIlroy. Congrats on you.
Right.
What a great win.
Yeah.
Congrats on the 20 wins.
Yeah.
You joined a very elite club.
Right.
I mean, to say you're in the same group of Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and Phil Mickelson,
right?
Man, that's a stat in its own.
Right.
Just to say you're there with those guys,
right?
Because all of these guys at their time, they were top rank. Everybody wanted to be them, and so forth. So, shout out to you, McIlroy.
Right.
Congrats again.
Again, coming up on the podcast, we have a special guest, which is Bryan Urip.
Yes, sir.
Bryan Urip is a college golfer playing out of Cypress College and trying to transfer to another college upcoming. But regardless, our good friend Bryan Urip is going to be making an appearance virtually, and we're going to be talking about his experiences in the golf world playing college golf. So watch out for that. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Sandy Par Club podcast. We have a wonderful guest today. We have an amazing friend of ours. This is Bryan Urip. Bryan Urip, who has played golf for Pacifica High School, Cypress College, and now working at Shady Canyon Golf Club. Bryan, you also were part of the Tiger Woods CGR Foundation golf program, where we recently had our guest speaker, Roman Gonzalez, who used to run that program before. And you can find Bryan's Instagram handle at Bryan Urip, where he's always posting about his golf swings and working on practicing making that golf swing smoother than ever.
Ooh, he wants that buttery swing. That buttery swing.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying. Well, welcome to the podcast,
yes,
Bryan.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess to start off, Eloy,
so let's start off with a couple simple questions for you, Bryan. You know,
let's hit it.
what drives you in a golf tournament? You know, why do you like to compete? Like from, you know, because you competed in high school, you competed now in college, and then, you know, why? Why is that?
For me, it's just I get a lot of kick out of winning. And I know that's a lot of people's end goal.
That's
Competition.
that's
The competition of, because me, like, especially in golf,
Sure.
what I love about this sport is that, like, there's always one person better than you.
Sure.
Okay,
And
true.
there's always that next level, and you can never get perfect, but you can be perfect to an extent.
Right.
And I just love that kick. I love that chase. I love the journey of competition, of staying in the moment, having the heat of what's around you, being fully immersed in that place. And I just love competition. I love winning.
There you go.
Hey,
Wow.
hey, winning is not bad.
No, I think that's a big driving factor for a lot of people that play golf, especially competition golf like you, Bryan. What would you say is the big difference between junior or, you know, real amateur golf, high school golf, and then now transitioning into college golf? How do you see that transition, or how would you feel like that's you know, changed in those kind of different aspects?
Well, for me, it's the biggest thing I've learned so far is maturity.
Okay.
And that's the biggest thing, where it goes from junior golf days and high school days is to when you want to pursue golf collegiately. That's when you get into some serious stuff. Instead of competing against your friends and stuff, you're competing against boys that are turning into the next level or kicking it up a notch.
Right,
and
right.
They're going out and playing lights out, and they're leaving everything on the course. So for me, it's being mature, starting to grow up. I wouldn't say quicker, but growing up in your own way.
Sure.
To the point in wanting to do what you want to do.
Right.
Like, for example, let's say if you're a college player and you want to go pro afterwards, and you're using these college years as your preparation before you graduate, and then you go on to Q school or do Monday qualifiers or do whatever it is.
Right.
So for me, it's practicing your work ethic. That's what I think really separates wannabe golfers to people who are actually serious golfers.
Sure.
And obviously, Kobe Bryant's method, you put in what you get out of it.
Right.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
So would you say that that's the next step for you, is to be trying to, you know, do Q school or qualifiers that you just mentioned? Is that the next move for you, or are you kind of trying to see where you're going to go from here?
Yeah, right now I am trying to sign with a team right now for some other D2, because I do not want to stay at a community college for golf.
Understood.
Makes sense.
So I want to go to that next level and then kick it up a notch. And then afterwards, I plan to play professionally and try to work my way up and maybe get some status on some of the mini tours and hopefully end up on the PGA someday.
Nice.
So when you say D2, like what school is coming to your mind that you really want to play for? You know, let them know now. You know, maybe they're listening to the podcast. You know, they might hear.
It's a thin ice subject because I don't want to jinx or anything or give out too much info.
Understandable. Very understandable.
I have been talking to some colleges.
Okay.
There are two currently in mind, maybe a third that I've been talking to, but this one school that I'm really looking forward to, hopefully wanting to play for them.
Right.
Like, hopefully it turns out my way, and I really want to go play for these guys.
For sure.
Well, best of luck to you for that, man.
Because that's,
thank you.
You know, making anybody trying to drive, like you said, for that competition and try to reach the goals that you want to. You know, we strive for you guys to do that as well.
Of course.
What is the school is there any that you're looking at out of state? Is, I guess, my next question.
Or even out of country.
Yeah.
Out of country.
You know, it's funny that you said that because I had this thought last night.
Sure.
Oh.
So I'm glad you brought this up. Where it's like, okay, maybe I can go to, let's say, Ottawa State in Arizona.
Sure.
And they're a private school, and they're out of country, obviously. So I want to maybe try and look for places outside of California.
Sure.
And maybe maybe get away from home a little bit, maybe experience the traveling part.
Right.
And also some schools like Illinois State.
Right.
but at this time, I just kind of want to stay close to home.
Local. You want to stay local.
Especially, yeah. I want to stay a little bit local, yeah.
The family, you know, it's understandable.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so
what would you say? Sorry, Bryan. What was you said you play tournament and competitive golf. What's the best place that you've ever placed in a tournament?
The best I've ever placed in a tournament was the 2019 LA County Lancanet Junior Amateur Championship.
Okay.
Nice.
And it basically was a series of 7 to 8 qualifiers.
Wow.
And you need to play in. You didn't have to play in every single one of them, but you would play in almost all of them.
Right.
And usually top 3 gets into the qualifying spot. And I got into that top 3, and I played almost all of the qualifiers. And then during the championship, when it was a two-day championship, hosted at Melwood and El Carrizo Golf Course.
Right.
And then it was a pretty decent-sized field, and I walked away winning the tournament.
Ooh, congratulations.
Congratulations on that.
Yes, sir.
Round of applause right there. Congrats.
Yeah. It was actually pretty insane, too, because we were coming in the second day, and we ended up realizing that there was a 3-way tie.
Wow.
So we had to do a 3-way playoff, and that lasted 6 holes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So how does that work in the competition you were in, Bryan? Was that stroke play across all the 6 holes? Okay. And then...
Yeah, it was stroke play. We were teeing off from blues, but the blues were obviously tipped back in the back of the tee box.
Right.
And, but yeah, it was a pretty interesting part because that was the first time me ever being in a playoff.
Right.
So obviously my nerves were everywhere.
Right.
I didn't know how to control it.
Right.
So, but the biggest thing I told myself was just like, hey, I got here for a reason.
Sure.
Like I deserve to be here.
Right.
I looked at the other 2 guys, knowing I can beat them any other day. Why not today?
Right.
That's
right.
So I just thought you should have. Right.
Yeah, I went out there, played my game. Turned out my game was better than everyone else that day.
Right.
Nice.
Hey, congratulations, man. That's sick. I know I've had the fortunate opportunity to play golf with you, but man, pound for pound, Bryan Urip is he can smash that golf ball and hold greens, man.
Oof,
so
man.
props to you. Yeah, 100%.
There it is.
Thank you, appreciate that.
All right. Favorite golfer? I know you're young, but who is your favorite golfer right now, besides yourself?
Everyone's so diverse and everything, but I have to go with Colin Morikawa.
Okay, there we go.
Okay,
the new kid on the block.
Yes, sir.
Made 22 straight cuts.
Right.
I don't think people always talk about his win at the Open.
Right.
How
PGA.
PGA.
Yeah, right.
He recently just finished solo second in the CJ Cup.
He sure did. Yeah.
But
we
people don't realize is that like he
solid game.
Solid game.
Yeah.
22 cuts in a row.
Right.
That's really hard to beat.
For sure.
Definitely
For sure.
That's Tiger material, right?
Right.
That's it's getting up there.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I'm pretty sure you've been playing golf for a very long time, right? I'm sure since you were a kid. What was the lowest recorded round that you have? Documented. I'm gonna say documented because I can say I shot par on the course, but no.
Right. And don't give us the Hartwell score. Give us
the full course.
Full course.
No, but I would have to say I've only shot this once, and it was 4 under, and it was a really good 4 under.
Wonderful.
That's still great.
Yeah, I think it was. I want to say Lakewood.
Oh, Lakewood. Oh, yeah.
Lakewood Country Club down here near Long Beach.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time. I think I shot that when I was in high school.
Sure.
Oh, wow. You were under in high school?
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
College kids gotta be fucking.
Right. I mean, when I was playing in high school, oh man, I was happy to be like 9 over.
Well, like Bryan
And
alluded
that's 9
to,
holes.
right? Well, as Bryan alluded to, I mean, that's where you get the serious golfer compared to the
Right.
the recreational
The
golfers that
recreational.
get out.
Yeah.
So since you shot that -4 at Lakewood,
Right.
would you consider that your favorite course, or do you have a solid favorite course to play at any given time?
My solid favorite course is right now is Shady Canyon, the
Okay.
place I work at, obviously.
You're right.
But
Shout out to Shady
mainly
Canyon.
because mainly because I recently played with a friend there earlier.
Sure.
Andrew Fernandez. I know some people.
Mm.
I know
Yeah.
you know him.
Yeah,
Some people
we know
on the
Andrew.
podcast might know him.
Right.
But he's a good buddy of mine, and we recently played there. I invited him out, and we were just talking about how this course can really expose you and differentiate the people who are faking it
Right.
and the people who actually know their stuff and
Sure.
actually know how to play the game.
Right.
Okay.
And I just like this course. It suits my eye. It's a tour course.
Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
The only reason why the PGA Tour doesn't select him is because it's a really small area.
Right.
The parking lot is super small.
Right.
Wouldn't have any room to
Yeah,
fit.
trying to put a
mass
gallery up
population.
there. I've never
Yeah.
played, and I've seen pictures
Right.
and video of the course, but
Right.
I think the troublesome part is trying to put a gallery of people out there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you have mountainside, treetops, and a whole
Right,
bunch of areas that you wouldn't be able to have people up there. But no, it
Oh,
looks like a
yeah.
beautiful golf course. I've yet to play.
It is.
Hopefully, we get the invite from Bryan
Hopefully.
one day.
Hopefully Brian invites us. We
Hopefully.
can go out there and play. Try it out.
Cool. Bryan, would you consider yourself a gearhead of the golf community in terms of equipment? Yes or no? And if not, it's fine. And I guess our next question was, what are you currently playing in your bag right now?
Right. So I'm a big gearhead. I would say I'm 50-50 on that.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and the clubs I'm playing in my bag are pretty much all tailor-made.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
Team TaylorMade?
Like I
Team
have
TaylorMade.
I have a Sim 2 driver, the Sim 2 Titanium 3-wood, Sim 2 Hybrid,
Oh, so you got all the new.
P70. Yeah.
Yeah, got all the new stuff.
P790s, and I'm getting the P790s that were just released this year.
This year's
soon.
piece of right.
Yeah, I got the new high toe wedges from this year. And
Okay.
then, yeah, it's pretty much all tailor-made. Ball-wise, I play Pro V1, Pro V1X.
Okay.
Either or fits me. I can't really tell the difference between the both.
Right.
But yeah, man, I'm a total gearhead at times
Right.
when it comes to shaft specs, degrees. But
Right.
then I'm more of a gearhead in a way where it feels and how it looks.
Gotcha.
Okay, that
So-
makes total sense.
Right.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
So like, this is what I feel. Does it look like that?
Right.
No. Okay, then I don't like it.
Right. Right.
Versus, this is what I feel, and this is the window that I see it's going through, and
Right.
it's going in perfect how I imagine.
Right.
Then yeah, I'm sold.
Right.
sold on it.
So are
Yeah.
you? Would you say you're more on the Tiger-esque level when he, we've heard this in previous interviews with Tiger, but he says if it doesn't do better than what I currently have, it's not going in the bag. So will you stick with something that you currently have, regardless if the performance of what you have is better than what the latest and greatest is out there?
I think with nowadays technology, it's hard not to get the newest thing.
Sure.
It's really hard.
Sure.
Because the technology is rising every single
It's
every
going
year,
above
right.
and beyond
and
every time.
The numbers,
Right.
back then it used to be like very minimal.
Sure,
But now
sure.
it's a straight jump point A to point B.
Right. Right.
So it's very hard for me to like see something
Right.
and not think, well, this acts the same, because it doesn't.
Right, right. And what's your
Yeah,
thoughts on
yeah.
that? Like you just mentioned like how equipment is advancing so fast.
Right.
We're getting more yardage, we're getting more spin or less spin or whatever we want.
Oh yeah.
From degrees, from shafts, from heads. Do you like the way that the game of golf is transitioning into that, or do you think that it should kind of balance itself out at this point where we're seeing like hey, we don't need drivers that
Right.
should go 400 yards?
Right. Yeah, I like it. I mean,
Sure.
everyone likes a long ball, right?
Right, right.
Of
Everyone
course.
likes to step up there and be Tiger or DeChambeau.
Right,
nowadays,
right, right.
But I think it's great. I think it's good for the game because it gives so much diversity, especially to those who are less fortunate
Sure.
and less gifted.
Right, right.
I mean, people who come out of the womb hitting it like 400 on
Right,
a good day is
right.
it's crazy. And we're getting those young kids. Like, I know a friend who I know someone who plays on the UCLA team.
Sure.
And when he wants, he could catch a hot one. And like the minimum it would go is like 370.
Right.
And the minimum. That's
I
the
can only
minimum.
dream about
that.
Right. Yeah, and it's crazy. I like it. Me personally, it's just, it gives me so many options, especially as a little guy, because honestly, if I didn't have the technology now, if we were to fast forward like 5 years back, I wouldn't be hitting it as far as I could.
Right.
You know, I would be 20, 30 yards back.
Sure.
And especially, like for me, I personally like it because it helps me out.
Right.
I need it the most. But yeah.
Okay.
That's
cool.
my input on that.
All right. Well, Team TaylorMade, sign Bryan Urip.
Yeah,
that's the call right now.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Up and coming player, get him while he's young. You know.
Right.
Get him before he signs anywhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
So, obviously, playing golf for so long, you have a practice routine, right?
Right.
So, what would your practice routine be looking like?
Well, recently I just changed my practice routine to. So, this may seem a little tiger-esque, but I promise you it's not. It's because I've.
If it is, we can't blame you.
Right. We can't blame you. Those are some good shoes to follow.
Yeah.
You know? There's nothing wrong with that.
Basically, what I'm trying to do for the past 2 weeks and what I have been doing is waking up at 5 a.m.
Okay.
And then that's what I've been doing. And then I would have an hour to myself. Just lay in bed, go on the computer, do something for an hour.
Right.
And then at 6 o'clock, if I don't have work, then I would just go practice.
Right.
And then I would go practice and I would break it up into sessions like Kobe would.
Okay.
So I would go practice, hit some balls, maybe play in the morning. After that, figure out what I want to work on. Come back home, rest, do some stuff, maybe eat lunch, and then go back out. See if my teammates want to practice, what do they want to do. And then just work on putting, short game. And then after that, come back in. And then later at night, maybe meet up with some friends. And then we go hit the range again.
Gotcha.
And do some work. Yeah.
So you're out there a lot.
He's out there a lot. And then Bryan works on his putting a lot, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was there a couple weeks ago when we went out to El Dorado and we practiced with the, what is it called? The putting tool that Andrew uses.
Oh, yeah. The putting gate drill.
Yeah, putting gate drill. I'm telling you guys, if you guys ever seen this thing, they got them in different sizes of the golf ball, and they get a little bit bigger. But the smallest one they got, I kid you guys not, man, we could spend 5 hours and not make a freaking golf ball through that damn freaking tool. But I mean, hey, that's how you know you're working on your game. If you can get a ball through one of those things. Shout out to anybody that could make a putt through that. And but yeah, no, Bryan works hard on his game.
I remember you were there at that putting green, and then I was just losing my mind.
Yeah, we both were, bro. You were spending way more time.
You were laughing so hard because I was just mauling because I couldn't get the ball.
Yeah, you couldn't. Yeah. We tried lining you up differently. Tried to, have Andrew come out and look at the line, and he's, and it's not an easy thing. I forget what the dang thing is called. Like, what is it called?
Oh, puttingplates.com. That's their
putting plates.
Yeah, Putting Plates. That's their
Putting Plates.
Name.
Okay. Yeah. Podcast not sponsored by puttingplates.com, but check them out.
Check them out. The tool we've used.
Hey, puttingplates.com. Hit them up.
Yeah. Yes, please do. So you just alluded to, when you practice sometimes by yourself. And you said, do you practice with your teammates as well?
Yeah.
And how do you say that when you say you like to be competitive in the golf world, how do you, when there's going to be certain events and tournaments that are going to be with the team versus you playing by yourself? Can you switch yourself off to be like, I got to be a team player for this event and know I got to do good for my team versus I got to do better for the events that are, myself only? How would you answer kind of, do you stray away from, if you're going to play a team event, you got to play well with the team versus you got to play well for yourself?
Yeah, that's a really good question because evidently, in general, golf, you're playing for yourself. Mm-hmm. You're always playing for yourself. You're not the one going out and shooting the even pars or 69.
Right.
The team's not doing that for you.
Right.
It's all on you.
Sure.
Of course.
It's just you need to understand that, sure, you're doing this for the team.
Sure.
But in the end, you have to understand that it's always for yourself.
Right.
And that's what I believe. That's how you bring your best golf out of you. And as far as practice wise and then scoring wise, we're all focusing on ourselves. Like, yeah, we'll team this, like who this, whatever. Like before we go out and turn, hey, let's go get this dub.
Right.
But as soon as we start, we're on our own.
Right. That mentality changes. Right.
Yeah.
It's you versus the guy you're grouped with. Right.
Yeah, the one quote I love where it's like, once you're on, no one's gonna pick you up.
Right.
No one's gonna stop you.
Right.
But once you're off, no one's gonna pick you up either.
Right.
So you're on your own, on and off the golf course. So it's your responsibility to do the best that you can in anything.
Sure.
Whether it be in golf or business or whatever.
Right.
And that's what golf taught me. And yeah, that goes the same thing for practice too, where it's like, I'm a very competitive person, and when I see someone that looks like they've been sweating and been there all day, first thing I think in my head is like, I'm gonna stay here until that person leaves. Right. Because like, I have love and respect for my teammates, and I have love and respect for my friends, but you're not gonna outwork me.
Right. Hey, the mentality has to be there for you to be that successful.
Right.
Yeah.
Bryan, what are any tips that you have for amateur golfers? One tip that you can leave us with. You don't have to give us your bag of secrets, but one thing that you would say can help the golf community. Practice more putting.
This is a really broad statement. Well,
sure, it could be as broad as you want. It doesn't have to be anything specific.
For those who are amateurs, I'll say in the standpoint of amateurs that want to get serious about the game.
Okay, perfect.
Learn how to have fun first.
Sure.
And remember the feeling.
Right.
Because if you always think, I need to get better at this, I need to get better at this, you'll turn this hobby that you have, or this passion that you have, the future career or whatever, into a job, into a chore.
Right.
And that's the quickest way, in my opinion, to burn yourself out.
Oh,
gotcha.
Definitely. That makes perfect sense.
I've had a lot of time having fun with friends, especially last year, a couple of years ago, having fun with friends, going out late at night, playing golf, doing all of this stuff.
Right.
Money games, whatever.
Right.
But like, once I'm serious, I'm like, hey, I want to go pro. All that has to stop.
Right.
Of course.
You need to buckle down, and you need to stay focused on what you have to do.
Right.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's my biggest tip to amateurs who want to take it seriously. Just learn to have fun first.
Before committing all this time and money, blood, sweat, and tears.
As soon as you commit, that's your job now.
Right.
You already said it. It's in the wraps.
It's exactly. And I think, especially with people that get the golf itch, people don't get, you get the golf itch is one thing, but making it into a career or something that you want for the rest of your, for a quite part of your life, it's a big investment. So,
definitely.
Definitely agree with what you're saying there, Bryan.
Right. So, Bryan, do you have any cool golf stories? Like anything interesting happened to you on the golf course, or on the range, playing with your classmates or your teammates, or with even just friends? Any cool story you want to, just let the world know?
I'm trying to think of them. I have a lot, but I'm trying to figure out which one's appropriate or not.
Hey, shoot, we have a lot of stories like that.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this one thing about my team. I'm not gonna say who.
Sure.
All right. No need to disclose any names.
It was my first year in college, and we're heading back from a tournament.
Okay.
And this is the same day Kobe crashed. Kobe's helicopter crashed.
Gotcha.
And I guess we could hit two birds with one stone. So
sure.
We were finishing up. I'll start with the first one. We were finishing up the tournament, and I was walking down 18, and we were playing La Prisma Golf Course in Chico, I think. So La Prisma Golf Course.
Not Malibu.
No.
Chico's that one.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, near Santa Barbara, I think.
Santa Barbara. Near Santa Barbara. That's what I'm thinking.
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyways, super hard course, by the way. There's a reason why LPGAQ school stopped playing there.
Right.
The course was unfair. Legit. I'll sidetrack a little bit. Okay, so there's this one hole, and the golf designers are like, okay, let's put two trees in the middle of the fairways.
Sure.
But yeah, back to my point where it's like, I was walking down 18, and then a kid from Irvine Valley City College came by.
Yeah.
And I was doing all right at the time, but I was still locked in, walking down 18, don't want to choke, and I want to finish off well.
Right.
And then he comes over and says, hey man, did you hear Kobe died?
Ooh.
And then the the first thing I thought was, because there was a guy in our league, in our conference, named Kobe.
Oh,
So
wow.
What do you mean? He died on the golf course?
Right.
No, Kobe Bryant.
The actual person, right.
Shut me down. That completely shut me down. I'm like, what?
Right.
But, and then, yeah, it was a weird time, and
For
that kind of
sure.
threw me off the rails a bit, and I had to
Sure.
regroup myself. But on the way back, we were driving, and then my teammate really had to take a bad piss. And we were stuck in traffic.
Yeah.
That's where the Kobe story comes along,
Sure.
because we had to pass along the crash site.
Right.
So it was blocked.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there in traffic for a
Right.
decent 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And then 30 minutes go by after he said, hey man, I really need to take a piss.
Right.
We're in the middle of the freeway,
Right.
so we can't pull off to the
Sure.
sides.
Right.
So, like, my teammate, the captain at the time, hands him a bottle the
Right.
size of like my hand. And he was like, here, make this work.
Right.
And we were all just looking around.
Yeah, man.
And we were
Tough
like,
times, man. Tough times.
Yeah, this
Tough
is
times
not
require
gonna
tough
work.
measures, bro. So
Yeah.
hey, there you go.
Yeah.
You made it work.
Hey.
You made it work.
Bryan Urip's captain from the years that they were playing golf, man. Shout out to you, brother.
Right. Came in clutch with that bottle.
Yeah, came in clutch with that bottle.
But stuck
Oh
in
my
traffic.
gosh, yeah.
But we like to end our interviews with a little thing called words of wisdom.
Right.
Is there? I know you mentioned one earlier. Is there another one that you like, some words you live by?
If you can't do something 5 days in a row, you won't be successful in anything that you do.
Ooh, okay.
That's a good
That's a
one.
good one. There
That's
we
a
go.
good one.
Yeah.
Was that just that self-made, or somebody told you that, or
No, it's something
you read it somewhere?
It's something that I thought about, where a friend gave me the idea where it was like, here, do this, just do it for 5 days.
Right.
Just try to do it for 5 days.
Right.
And then for the first couple of weeks, I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when it like clicked in my mind, where it's like, you can't do this for 5 days.
Right.
Like, come on, if you can't do this for 5 days, what makes you think you can do it for 5 years?
Right.
Or 10
right.
years, or
Sure.
15 years from now?
Right.
Like,
Makes sense.
come on, pick yourself up, stop
Right.
whining, start getting to work.
So at the end of the day, consistency. Keeping
Yeah,
it consistency.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to live by, being consistent about something.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, those are some great words.
Right,
That's
definitely.
great words, Brian.
Well, B, unless you had anything else that you wanted to talk about, that kind of concludes our interview with Bryan today.
All right.
Yeah, so
Right.
thank you guys for listening to our interview with Bryan Urip. Again,
Thank
you can
you.
find him at Shady Canyon Golf Club in the city of Irvine, right?
Yeah,
so if
Irvine.
you're out that way, don't bug him, but reach out to him.
He's gonna be busy practicing.
I know he's gonna be busy practicing.
He's gonna be
which
practicing.
I have seen this guy practice, and it's no joke. So, follow his words of wisdom. Follow him on at Instagram, Bryan Urip. And if he's not playing one of our events at Sandy Park Club, he's out there working his butt off to be the next upcoming PGA star. So, shout out to you, Bryan. Thank you for your time. And
Thank you for
Thank
Brian.
you for having me.
and we'll catch you guys on the next one. And and then our next upcoming tournament is the Zozo.
Championship.
Yeah.
It is October 21st to October 24th. It is at the Accordia Golf Naroshima
Country Club.
in Chiba, Japan. So they're going international.
Yes.
So now we're starting to dip into the international golf courses.
Right.
The golf course is 7,224 yards.
A little bit.
Par 72.
Yeah, a little bit more distance for them.
More
to play with.
distance.
A little bit more challenging.
A lot. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say for us a lot more challenging. For us.
Anything over 7,000 for us, brother.
True. Big facts. Big
Yeah.
facts. Anything over 7,000 is gonna be challenging for us. But for PGA players, again, this is
another eat-up course.
it's another eat-up course for them,
Right.
or maybe just a regular course for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Course notes on the Accordia Golf Naroshima Country Club.
Is this the one where Tiger played?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Because I remember he
yes.
did play in
So
18.
on November 20, 2018, it was announced that the course would host the Zozo Championship.
Right.
It would be the first PGA Tour event in Japan, and
Tiger
the winner
Woods.
was Tiger Woods of the event. Tiger Woods won that event in 2018.
Right.
Some notable players that will be playing there is the 2021 PGA Tour Rookie of the Year, Will Zalatoris, 5-time Tour winner Kevin Na, Cameron Champ, Paul Casey, Shane Lowry, Lee Westwood, and
From
then
the European side.
From the European side, yes.
Yeah.
And then we have the reigning Masters champion Hideki Matsuyama,
Yeah.
and Xander Schauffele and Colin Morikawa.
Okay.
Ricky Fowler, Tommy Fleetwood. They will all be playing in the Zozo Championship next week.
And purse is at 9.9 mil.
Purse is 9.95 million.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
I believe the winner of that one will take home roughly about 1.3, 1.2 mil.
Oh my god.
Whew, man.
Somebody
Good luck
from
to all those
Zozo,
guys.
man, sponsor our podcast.
Right, Zozo. Hit us up, Zozo.
0.5% of that, real quick.
Right, we'll just take a little bit off the top,
Right.
Maybe, bring us out there,
Right.
let's play around out there, shoot a podcast out there for you guys.
Right. But yes, we also, again, as a reminder, we have the match. The new rendition, I think the 5th rendition of the match, which we have Brooks Koepka versus Bryson DeChambeau.
Yes, sir.
Pretty much on Thanksgiving weekend, 12-hole match at the Wynn Golf Club in Las Vegas. A lot of golf happening in Vegas this past end part of the year.
Right, actually, yeah. Weather's nice out there.
Yeah, weather's nice.
It's not too hot. It's not too cold yet.
Right.
So PJ smart for doing stuff out there right now.
Right. So, So, again, the question that we want to ask you guys, our viewers, are you Team Koepka or Team DeChambeau? So, answer in the comments. Let us know. It's something that we kind of talk about. See how that goes come November 26th on the match versus Brooks Koepka and Bryson DeChambeau. Again, please don't forget to check us out, SandyParkClub.com. We still have the new merchandise available with the Sandy Park Club 5-panel hat. We do have the new polos. We are completely sold out of Sandy Park Club bucket hats. Everybody's asking. Yes,
now.
Everybody's asking now, and we don't have any more.
Can we get a bucket? Hey, man, it's sold out right now.
Sold out. Now we do have some, future renditions of the hat coming out.
We do. So keep a lookout on that.
Keep a lookout for that, but we don't have the tie-dye summer vibes on bucket hat anymore.
That's gone.
It's gone.
Once you got it.
You got it. If you were one of the few select, you got it. Hey, shout out to you
guys for grabbing that early for everybody.
Yes, and shout us out on Instagram, and we want to see you wearing it.
Let's see that. Let's see it.
Right.
Don't forget, go to the website.
Yes.
Cut the new merch. We still got some hats still on sale.
Yes.
Some shirts on sale.
Right.
The new merch, like he was saying, the 5-panel.
Right.
The trucker hat, the new polos. Grab those.
Yes. Grab those. So check it out. SandyParkle.com. All the updated info is there, and as a quick announcement, we won't be having a tournament this month.
Yes, we won't be.
In respect for a lot of our members and guests that, I think this month a lot of the families have been out and about traveling or taking a lot of time with their families on the weekends, and we've yet to close on anything for our members and guests. So we won't be having a tournament this month, but we will be trying to set up November fairly soon, so we'll have that information out.
We'll get those out to you guys. Check out the website, check out the Instagram.
Right. We'll
have all the info on there.
Right.
Once we get something out.
Right. So check us out on all of our social media platforms and our website, SandyParkClub.com. Again, our motto is never golf alone.
Yes, sir.
And that concludes our podcast. So we'll see you guys on the next one.